man? 187 New Breed. Nobody Cares. Facebook. Steve Franchise. Um, I want to do a video on the different types of women to avoid. Um, you know, and it's a lot of those that's out here. And I have a few just in case I forget, so I'm gonna just go through the dome right now, but there's a few of them that I wrote down. Number one, don't stay away from women who always constantly want you to take them out. Like, don't you want to take me out somewhere? Don't you think you want to take me out to dinner and stuff like that? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't want to do that. If you want to go out to dinner, shit, and then suggest a place, and then you ain't paying for it, but yet you want me to take you here? Unless you in a relationship with somebody, then you can understand that. But if you ain't in no relationship and it's a first date, hell no. That shit don't go. So keep that in mind. Another one is a female who only talks to you on a text instead of on the phone. Now, what I mean, she'd rather have long texting conversations other than be on the telephone and talk. That's a big red flag. Most of the time, most of them types of women, they are with somebody, or they just on some bullshit. But most of the time, man, it's either one of those two, cause that busy shit is it's not even a factor. You know what I'm saying? And what brings me on to this one too, women who always say that they busy. Ladies, you are not that fucking busy to not return a call or a text, especially if you have your phone always with you. Because you never know, because your parents will call and all this stuff. You'll answer that. But if a dude calls you, especially, but they only don't get involved with people that they ain't really feeling like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, keep that in mind. A woman who always asks you for money, or always asks you for a ride or something. I've had so many women do this to me, especially in my younger years, man, in my late teens and in my 20s. I've had women who called me talking about, can you take me somewhere? Can you drop me off here? Can you loan me some money? And then I'll be like, what am I getting out of this shit? And if I'm giving you a ride, you gonna put in some gas money. Then when you ask for gas money, a lot of these women be mad as hell, like, oh no, I'm alright, I'm cool. And then they try to deflect that shit on you. And I'm like, bitch, I'm the one with the ride. You the one who ain't got one. So don't get mad at me because you ain't got no fucking ride. And you helpless. You know what I'm saying? And also too, man, I've noticed this, and I'm gonna add on to this. I notice a lot of women that's online dating, they don't have any cars. I noticed that. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I noticed a lot of women don't have no cars, and then got the nerve to be on some, on some demanding shit. I'm like, how you gonna be demanding and you ain't got no car or no job? How fuck you gonna be demanding? I think you act like that because you ain't in a good place in your life. You know what I'm saying? Which brings me to my next one. A woman who has a bad attitude. Now, being a brother, we go through a lot of black women like this, but other races have attitudes too, but black women have the worst attitudes. You do not want to get them pissed off. So, get them, don't mess with a chick who has a bad attitude, okay? Another thing, and I know this is going to get a lot of people upset, avoid black women who stay in a predominantly black city. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the hood or something like that. If you're going to deal with a black female, deal with one in the suburbs. I say most. I say about 90% of them you shouldn't even fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I say that. I'm not going to say all, because I know if I say all, they're going to be like, well, I ain't like that. And that's going to bring me to my next one in a minute. But I'm going to still talk about this. When you're dealing with a female, especially in a city like mine, Detroit, or Atlanta, you may have exceptions and stuff like that, but there's still a lot of whack chicks in Atlanta and demanding chicks. But Houston, other cities and stuff, it's a lot of whack black women there, man. So, just keep that in mind. Let me see. Avoid any type of white girl who only dates black men. Now, I know you guys are like, okay, why are you saying that? Well, when they're just consider, or just any woman who just date a single race, because they try to do the most slickest shit, and a lot of the times, women like that don't, they're insecure. When you insecure, when you just go out with just one race, and I know you have this thing about you want to unite the race and stuff, especially in the black community, but when you live in a black community, and you shouldn't just date black women and white people. Y'all shouldn't just date whites and stuff like that. Y'all should just date all races just to see how everybody is like. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to consider. Let me see. Of course, don't date no sassy chick, especially a fat chick, because some of these fat chicks are sassy. Another one. Don't date a chick who got kids, especially a gang of kids by different dudes. Don't do that shit. That is like, don't deal. I would say don't get serious with women who got kids, because you don't know how she is, you don't know how her kids, you don't know how the baby daddy is, and 9 times out of 10, the baby daddy just ain't shit. So that's one. Another chick is avoid a chick who always quotes Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey movies. Now, this is a major red flag. If she keeps quoting, oh, well, Steve Harvey in his book says, see, and that's the reason why your ass is still single, because you keep quoting these motherfuckers who's in relationships, and a lot of the women who look at Steve Harvey's books are still fucking single. And this motherfucker is rich as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's like a preacher coming up to you and saying, well, here's some money to put in the church, but yet the church is still fucking broke as hell. You know what I'm saying? So keep that shit in mind. Let me see. Avoid online dating sites. Avoid those types of women, because you can already, for the most part, there's a high majority rate in bullshit when it comes to online dating sites. So keep that shit in mind. Because you always hear, because a lot of these chicks on there got dudes, or got a gang of kids, or just fucked up in the head. And a lot of them got, self-esteem issues as well. So y'all got to keep that shit in mind. Avoid women who stay with their parents. That goes without fucking question. It shows immaturity, and those are the type of women you can't deal with. Avoid women who have ghetto names. Any chick who got Isha on the back of her name, because they gonna be ghetto. For the most part, they gonna be ghetto or doing some ignorant shit. So Without further ado, I'm about to start part 2 of this, so stay tuned.